Good everyone, today's video. Today it's a review on the Pvlvv Fm42. For the rest of this video, I'll be referring to it as the FM42. So the FM42 is the first Swedish AA, well, quotation marks AA, that you get access to. And when I started spading it, I thought immediately this thing's shit. I just thought this thing can't even point up 50 degrees. The cannon, whilst it does have good HE rounds, it really does take quite a while to put down a plane. And just overall, with its low ammunition capacity of just 108 rounds spread across three 36 round clips, I really thought this thing was going to be bad. That is until I unlocked the armor piercing belt. So, let's go quickly over the vehicle. So, the vehicle is based off I can't remember the name of the chassis, but it's based on a light tank chassis. And this vehicle apparently could also mount a 37mm autocannon. Also, not autocannon, that'd be nice. But single shot anti-tank gun, according to Raptor Jesus. However, I do not know if that is confirmed. Apparently, this thing's a tank destroyer in World of Tanks, so maybe that's it. But I don't know. If there is a version with the 37, I would like to see that in the game. It shouldn't take too long to model it and everything. So let's go with the vehicle's armor and everything. The armor's pathetic. If you get hit, you're going to know about it. The gun shield is actually the thickest part of the vehicle minus the tracks. It will stop light caliber machine gun rounds, but other than that, you're really not stopping anything. Obviously, the side armor is 8mm, the rear armor is 8mm, and the rear, obviously, for the gunner and all around the gun shield is exposed, with its 20mm being sat right there. This is a vehicle that isn't about its armor. It's sort of like a Swedish flak panzer, but worse in most areas. Sorry, that's my JU-88. Currently working on the spade for that. I'm not impressed, is all I'll say. Sorry about that. But yeah, I'm not impressed with the JU-188 so far. We're gonna get there with a review on it soon enough, but for the meantime, it's not very good. So the FM42 comes with a 20mm Laken. I don't know if you're supposed to say the V, like you say it as Laken, or like Lavaken, or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not Swedish, can't say I'd know. But it appears to be very similar to the 20mm Oerlikon, the the little 20mm that you get on some ships and stuff like that. It seems very similar to that. And it has good characteristics. If we just go into the modifications here, 42mm of pen at 10 meters. This is enough to pen nearly everything that you're going to see frontally in terms of the Swedish tanks at the moment. It will struggle against some other tanks, because obviously in this game I get to meet some non-Swedish tanks and all that, thankfully, which benefits the vehicle in a rather good way. So I haven't done one of these in quite some time. In terms of modifications, you're going to want to go parts and get the AP belt. Ignore this belt. I know I said it's got decent HE charge for what it is. It's a 20mm round with 6 grams of TNT. That's pretty good. But trust me on this one. Go for the AP belt and run pure AP. You're not using this thing as an AA. I can guarantee you that. It is really temperamental as an AA, and with just 20 degrees of turret rotation speed a second, it isn't fast for an AA. And combine that with its weak engine and weighing just 6 tons, it's not great. Trust me on this one, folks. Play this thing as a TD, because you're going to see exactly what it can do. So before I continue, I'm just going to go over the stats of the vehicle and see what I got up to in it. 18 ground kills, 1 air kill, which is a BA-65 who decided to play ball. A 16% win rate, because, well, it seems whenever I jump in an AA, the teams get garbage. And 4 deaths. Most of those, surprisingly, were from revenge bombers in planes approaching from angles I could not get to. This is the real detriment of this vehicle. It's meant to be an anti-aircraft, and yet this vehicle really has no capability of being an anti-air unless they're right in your gun sight, flying extremely low. And the best way to beat this thing? Fly above 45 degrees above it. There's nothing it can do unless it props itself up on a rock or something. But other than that, it's a decent tank destroyer for this BR, as you're going to see. But yes, I am currently working on the spade for the JU188A2. That's why you saw that pop up on the modifications there. I do apologise about that. It's not going particularly great. I mean, it's certainly doing better than some of the other fast bombers that I tend to spade with Germany. But yeah, it's okay. I mean, the guns are okay on it, but even so. But this isn't about the JU188 today. Obviously, I finished grinding it about a couple of hours ago, and I just started slowly spading it. And well, I realised I haven't actually recorded my review for this tank, and I just realised I hadn't turned on the volume either. Set that to my headphones, because otherwise it's going to be on my monitor, and anything that happens outside my headphones I won't be able to hear, so hooray. So in this battle, I'm going to be showing one of my favourite spots again, and this is a full up tier, just to point out. There is a French Crusader. I will not be reviewing the French tanks that have come this batch, the Stuart, the Crusader, and the Sherman. There's just no point. And this is the vehicle with no track modification. You can see that's really struggling to turn. You need to get that track mod, and you also need to get the engine mods. This thing really lacks in power. And I was debating whether to try and get up here in the first place. But it can do it, just takes some time. But yeah, I won't be reviewing the French tanks that have come this patch, the Crusader, the M3A3 Stuart, and the Sherman 105, because there's really no point. I'm going to spade them, and if you want a review on them, I can do that, but I don't really want to, and not only that, the French Stuart, if you want a Stuart review on the M3A3, just go look at my Chinese spade review. That's really what it will be. I may do the Crusader. I don't know. I'll think about it more. But at this point, I'm just driving up here to get into my spot, and B's already being capped. Now, obviously, as you can tell in the bottom area there, I'm not spaded. This thing was spaded, I think 3 games later. This was actually a rather slow spade due to the teams just dying all the time. I think, was this game a win? I think this is the only win I got in this tank, if I remember rightly. But, well no, I think this one's a defeat actually. I don't remember this battle, to be brutally honest. I've been playing the JU188, I've been grinding French tanks. I don't remember this stuff. Do apologise. But all I will say is, if you're dealing with lighter targets, it really does do well, that 20mm. It's got good shrapnel, it's got good damage output, it's got decent pen. And yeah, there you can see an LVT down there. And I forgot to mention, this thing also gets 10 degrees of gun depression, which is really handy. So I hold my fire here, because obviously I can't really get a good shot on this guy at the moment. And I figured, I'll just wait for him, I don't mind. I can wait, Sonny Jim, I don't mind. And I used one of my precious 108 rounds to get rid of that tree. And that tree, getting rid of that with that one shell, is going to pull its weight. Let's just say that. That tree, even though it lost its life, is going to be rather helpful. Now, I was a little trigger happy here, and I was worried that I wasn't going to have enough to actually take out the rest of the vehicle. So in the end, I used one full ammunition load to take out the LVT. I could have aimed that better, to be brutally honest, but there's your first kill. But you can see what I mean. When you looked in the kill cam of that tank, you notice the shrapnel effect. It's pretty strong for a 20mm. Even on a vehicle that has barely any armor, it really does work well. So, 360 rounds per minute fire rate, 72 rounds, and I have another 8 kills to get. This is going to be funny, isn't it? But you'll be surprised, if a bit of trigger discipline really makes this thing work. And a lot of players say immediately that it was bad. I said it was bad immediately, but once I got this AP belt, I was like, well, I've used the AC Mark II, the armoured car, as a anti-tank vehicle, and it worked pretty well, especially against some of the Italian tanks. And yeah, but at the moment this team is not doing particularly great. We've got the B point, but obviously C's been completely overrun, A's been capped, and my team aren't really doing much about it. And there is a B1 Biz currently kicking the teeth in on my team. But don't worry, the next Pvlvv for Sweden will be that derpy boy, that thing with a 150mm recoilless rifle. I can't wait to try that thing. I haven't actually driven it yet because I've been grinding the 188, but let me tell you, that thing sounds like Thor's hammer has struck the ground. It is absolutely amazing. But at this point, I'm just sat up here looking for a target of opportunity. And obviously the B1 Biz is currently spanking my team, and I was thinking, could I maybe go for his turret ring? But obviously, due to my limited ammo, I thought I'll just wait. And a teammate in an IKV-72 actually ends up nailing him. But down there is a little locust, and 10 degrees of gun depression is good, but it's not good enough to shoot that guy yet. And unfortunately, I'm just a little bit too slow, and you can see what I mean by the mobility. I'm just a little bit too slow, and the gun's wobbling, that we lose one of our Saab M43s because of it, but I do manage to kill the little bastard in the M22. It's kill number 2. And it only took 6 rounds to do it. You see, the shrapnel effect is really strong. And I knew straight away I couldn't kill that Somua. The best advice I can give in this vehicle is learn the enemies that you can penetrate and never fire on the ones that you cannot penetrate. This AP round can only pen that Somua at point blank range, and even then, that's 50-50. So there's really no point of engaging that S30, is it an S38 or an S35? I don't remember, I think it's the S35. But you can see there, armoured car, AMD 35. I knew I could kill that guy, didn't take too many rounds, killed him for free. But as soon as I got the kill, after firing enough rounds, I stopped firing. You don't need to continue firing if the target's already dead. And knowing when to exactly pull off the trigger is really important in this tank. Especially when you're playing it how I did. But as you can tell, my team is collapsing all around us. There's a B1 Biz in our spawn right now. He's got light tank support, he's got the lot. He's also got a F222 providing air support. And that F22 is going to make a cameo appearance a couple of times. You're going to see him just flying around. And I do take a couple of shots at him, but AP just flies right through it, so... I have seen people say that they take 2 armor piercing belts and 1 HE belt. No, just take pure AP. There's honestly no point to the HE rounds. Especially when you're playing it like a TD. And at this point I was thinking, alright, what's first? And I thought, I'll go for the Stuart once I get enough gun depression. And that was 4 rounds. And I just dumped 8 rounds into that LVT and killed him. Kill number 5. There's the ace in the day. So I've got 8 rounds left, and there's an AMD 35 right there. Use the last of that to kill the AMD, and I'm down to my last clip of ammo. This is very important to learn in this vehicle. It may seem difficult at first, honestly. It was hard stock grinding this thing, especially without the tracks and all that. And the fact that my first game in it was 2 kills and assist, and my team just died. It's not helpful, but it was certainly a start. Obviously, once I got the AP rounds, a pure AP belt, I knew exactly what to do. So there's the 222, and there's an M3 Stuart. Now, the M3 Stuart actually has pretty good armor for a light tank. Obviously, earlier on, we killed a 1st Armoured Division M2A4 that only has 25mm of armor. I can pen that really well. But an M3 Stuart with 38.1mm of armor, that's going to be a bit harder. But his side armor is just 25mm. So as you can imagine, I'm going to be patient, and I'm going to wait. And again, this is vitally important. You need to know when to strike, when not to strike, and in the end, you get rewarded for it. That was 9 rounds, and I got the Stuart in that time as well. Kill number 7. But as you can tell, this team's gone. Completely gone. The allies have completely overwhelmed my team. The B1 Biz, I thought he was going to see me, so I backed up. I was just having a look where he was to see if I was in any danger. And there's the 222. I do take some shots at him, which I don't recommend doing so. I think I do get the assist on that guy, and I'm very surprised that M2A4 didn't actually see me. Because I did just blaze away this 222 friend. But surprisingly, he didn't notice. Kill number 8. And, well, that really is pretty much that I'm going to do. I think I have one more kill to go on, it's the Tetrarch. I used the last of my ammo on a Tetrarch. But, like I say, grind that AP belt. It is the most important thing on this vehicle, other than tracks. AP belt, tracks, you're golden. But obviously, you have to be careful of when to use this vehicle as a tank destroyer. Sometimes you might just have to sit back and wait, especially if there's a B1 running around. Which in this battle there is. You have to be so careful. But if you play it careful, you might just get rewarded for it. So there's Mr. Doge 98307, who's going to be my last victim. I thought that was the guy right there, but it turns out to be a dead Stuart. And I'm going to get this guy right on the edge, and with the last of my ammunition. Kill number 9, and that is that. So like I say, this FM42 is a very capable vehicle. You just need that AP belt and the tracks mod. Once you get those, this thing's an effective tank destroyer. And I'm willing to bet Mr. Fly Daily is going to be making a video on this tank, but I'm looking forward to seeing that video and seeing if he has the same opinions as me. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys off. I hope you enjoyed today's review on the FM42 anti-aircraft. Like I say, that AP belt, so important. Try this thing as a tank destroyer. Even Asman Museng posted a video on his little channel that he has, and he freaking likes it as a tank destroyer. He took my advice and he had a good game in it. I'll see you all on the next one.